This is the moment Belarusian troops fired gunshots close to a terrified group of migrants at the Polish border, hours before the desperate refugees made fresh attempts to break through barbed wire fences and into the EU. Video captured by Polish guards shows people, including women and children, lined up along a border fence on the Belarusian side before the sound of a soldier cocking and firing his rifle is heard. Amid screams from the migrants, two more soldiers can be seen kicking and hitting them before one drops to his knee and raises his gun at them. A Polish soldier can be heard calling to his squad mate, "Come, we have to step back." Poland released the footage to rebut claims by Belarus that it was Polish soldiers who had fired the shots, as Minsk tries to discredit its rivals in Warsaw as part of a hybrid attack on the EU using migrants as a weapon. There are now thousands of desperate people camped out along the Polish border, with the EU saying they were lured to Belarus on false promises of passage to Europe, then marched to the border and forced to make illegal crossings. Poland said more than 250 people attempted the crossing between Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning, with dozens making it. Around 50 were found and arrested near the town of Białowieża early today, with more being sought. It was not a calm night. Indeed, there were many attempts to breach the Polish border, Polish Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak told broadcaster PR1. Polish private radio RMF said around 200 people had tried to breach the border on Tuesday afternoon, and a second group of around 60 had tried after midnight. Błaszczak said all those who tried to cross were detained, and that the force of Polish soldiers stationed at the border had been strengthened to 15,000 from 12,000. Three EU diplomats told Reuters late on Tuesday that the bloc was close imposing more sanctions on Belarus over the escalating crisis, targeting around 30 individuals and entities including the Belarusian foreign minister. Germany's acting foreign minister Heiko Maas said on Twitter on Wednesday the images from the Belarusian border were horrific. Mr. Lukashenko unscrupulously exploits people seeking refuge as hostages for his cynical power play. But the European Union cannot be blackmailed, he said. Maas said the EU would not leave anyone in need alone. Belarus is already under EU sanctions, levied after Lukashenko hijacked a Ryanair flight over the bloc's airspace to arrest a journalist who criticized his regime. The EU has also provided sanctuary to Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, the exiled Belarusian opposition leader who is widely thought to have beaten Lukashenko in a 2020 ballot that analysts believe was rigged, and voiced support for pro-democracy protesters. The bloc says Lukashenko is now taking revenge by manufacturing a migrant crisis on its eastern border to try and destabilize the alliance. European leaders say migrants are being flown to Belarus from across the Middle East, Africa and Asia and then forced to try and cross the border. The crisis has been simmering since spring, when what was one of the quietest migrant routes into Europe suddenly became one of its busiest, but has escalated this week with the sudden arrival of around 1,000 people at the border on Monday. There are now thought to be around 2,000 people camped out at the border, who cannot cross into Poland and are blocked from going backwards into Belarus. They have little food or water and are living out of tents in freezing conditions, with overnight temperatures frequently dropping below zero. Lukashenko, with the backing of Moscow, has denied orchestrating the migrant crossings, claiming they are legitimate asylum seekers who should be given access. He described the EU as BDS on Tuesday, while accusing Poland of conducting a war by moving troops close to the border, which he warned could lead to conflict. "This is either a training exercise or it's blackmail," he said, before vowing, "We will calmly stand up to this." Lukashenko issued the fiery statement following a phone call with Putin, during which the pair discussed the crisis. Belarusian state news agency Belta reported the phone call, saying the two leaders had discussed Polish troop movements at the border and were concerned. A special place in the conversation was taken by the discussion of the situation on the Belarusian-Polish border, as well as the tough actions of the Polish side in relation to civilians, Belta said. At the same time, it was emphasized, the fact of regular Polish troops gathering on the border was of particular concern. The heads of state discussed in detail the disturbing facts and trends taking place on the Belarusian-Polish borders. Following the call, Mr. Putin convened a meeting of Russia's Security Council to discuss what the Kremlin called state border policy. Belta also said Belarus Foreign Minister Vladimir Makai was traveling to Moscow to discuss the crisis with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov. Mr. Lavrov has previously thrown his weight behind Belarus on the issue, saying the EU should be paying Lukashenko to take the migrants back.